Hi, this is Margo. This is Sunday afternoon, October the 13th, 2019. I'm going to bring a methane update to everyone. We're going to look at CAMS data and also the NOAA data from the last couple of weeks. I haven't done a YouTube report in a couple of weeks. I'm going to leave out sea ice and all the other stuff today and just focus on methane. Hopefully this will be a fairly short video because I've got some things I need to do. So I hope everyone is doing well. And we're looking at Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Services for methane. Their latest data is from Friday, October 11th. I have Arctic view pulled up and surface level pulled up. And if you want updates more often than what I'm doing on YouTube, you can join us on my Subscribe Star page. And for $5 a month, my subscribers get notifications of videos that everything that goes up on my Subscribe Star page, and access to all of the posts, public and private. And what I've been doing is doing a short methane video whenever there's new data that comes out. It's about 4 minutes long, just showing some different views and going through CAMS. And at least we're keeping up to date with the methane as it comes available. And this is the one thing that it's really hard to track, and you know, you just kind of got to do it on your own. So that's what we're doing here. So this is where it left off on Thursday, with high releases coming up around Novaya Zemlya, in the Kara Sea, and in the Barents Sea over here. And Norway is back on the map, and the Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia right here is back on the map with high releases. We're also go ahead and get this started. We're also seeing releases move out across the Arctic, and it is getting dark up there, and the ice is trying to refreeze. I'm not reporting on sea ice today because I need to make a shorter video today. We are seeing their color changes, and when you see the color changes in the greens, when it goes from a darker green to a lighter green, especially to a yellow, it's higher releases of methane. And there have been some articles that just came out about these high methane releases coming out around the Bennett Island area in East Siberia Sea. That's around here, and we're seeing in the forecast period it changing to the yellow area, which is about 2020 parts per billion. And when it gets up into the orange, that's 2080. The red orange is 2100. And when you get to this dark brown, reddish brown, that's anywhere from 2140 to 10,000 parts per billion. Now, CAMS changed their color ledger in December of last year and downgraded the levels. The colors stayed the same, but the levels downgraded. And so what you're seeing are, when you're looking at green, it's higher levels than what it used to be. It's 100 parts per billion difference. And so Robin and I have been trying to point that out to people as time has been going on, but You know, when they change that color ledger, it makes green look good, but green is not good. And we're also seeing this release coming off of Iceland. There's also, I don't know if it's going to show up in this video, there have been releases coming up off of Svalbard. But we're seeing, finally, over here, it changing in this East Siberian ice shelf region to higher releases. Now, we didn't see higher releases during the summer, which is when we thought we would have it because of the sun and everything. So I don't know why that was. I don't know why we see higher releases in the wintertime up there than in the summertime. You know, I'm not privy to all that information, but I'm just reporting what I see. And we can speculate from there, and that's about all we can do. So, unless we have scientists come out and back up what we're seeing and, you know, vindicate what we're seeing, then, you know, we're kind of on our own. And the scientific priesthood, you know, they're kind of in a class of their own, and they don't like to share. And they, you know, they play their cards close to the vest, and, you know, that's fine. That's fine. We're, you know, because we're intelligent, and people who have been watching this for a while can see that the levels are increasing. And when we look at this North Pole view, where we can see basically the whole northern hemisphere, we can see huge releases coming up from India, and also in the ocean to the east and to the west of India, and also China and Asia. And this, I mean, is just covered up. And so, you know, people who say, you know, we don't have a methane problem, I think they need their head examined. And I'm just a citizen researcher and reporter over here, and I'm just showing what I see, and, you know, you can extrapolate from there. So there's the North Pole view, and if we look at the global view, here it is on the global view, and we can see a definite demarcation between this color blue, which is 1800 parts per billion, to this kind of aqua blue, which is about 1860. Definite demarcation right just above the equator, right around the equator. From that's where northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere meet. But we still have high releases in the southern hemisphere, including in the Antarctic. We see a lot of releases around the coastlines in the Antarctic. And so, now look at that. This is in the Weddell Sea. No one's talking about this. So, you know, the planet's in huge trouble. It's in huge trouble. And we're also seeing high releases off of New Zealand and around the edges of Australia. They have a lot of oil production that can be giving off methane. Over here in California, we're seeing very high releases all the way up and down California. So, you know, you can go and check all this out for yourself. I leave links to all my research sites below. Now, also, if we look at, if you want to look at 500 HPA, that's about halfway up in the atmosphere, and here's what it looked like on Friday. And we can see the red over sorry, over the Arctic and darker over Asia. And here, total column, here's the total reading of methane all the way up through the whole atmosphere. It's like I said, I've said it in every video, that it's getting worse, total column, every time I look at this. And to get the right color ledger, you have to refresh when you change the HPAs. So the color ledger here, this highest area is between 1920 to 2320 parts per billion. And so this is total column worldwide, and we can see that this dark brown has really spread out over India and Asia, and now look how the red has spread out over the Pacific and coming all the way across and coming, and it's going to be red pretty soon over here in the Pacific, moving on to the West Coast and different areas. So there's that. I've also been tracking the NOAA methane data from the 477 millibar reading. Here, the pressure, it says 469, but it's 477 on their little GIF where you're choosing out of the 100 levels that you can choose from. Last week, it went down 0.5 parts per billion. I didn't do a report last week, but I did track it. Now, here it is from this week. So here are our reading. Okay, let's get back to the beginning. Here's the METOP-1 satellite for the morning for October the 12th, which was yesterday, and we're seeing huge areas of missing data. So how in the world they think they're going to have an accurate reading is beyond me. But with the data that they have, they're showing the range from 1531 to 2583 parts per billion, and the mean at 1900, which is super high. Super, super high. Here it is in the afternoon for the METOP-1 satellite, and the mean is 1894, and the range is 1499 to 2417. And this fuchsia color, that's the highest, and that's kind of what we saw. It correlates to what we saw to the 500 HPA on CAMS. Here is the METOP-2 satellite reading from the morning. The mean was 1875. This satellite always reads lower than the other one. And in the afternoon it was 1874. Now I plugged these into a spreadsheet, and so for this week the average, when I added all those levels up and divided them by 4, the average reading for the 477 millibar level is 1885.75. So that's gone up 1.5 parts per billion since last week. So here it is on the graph, and started charting this on March the 1st, and since March the 1st it's gone up 28.5 parts per billion. Now typically the methane levels keep rising into November, and then they start going down, and then they start going up again in the spring. But we'll see. This is my first year to track all of this, and the 477 millibars is about 20,000 feet or 6,096 meters high in the atmosphere. So I'm just going to keep tracking this and reporting as I see the numbers, but it's not looking good for planet Earth, and I recommend everyone get your spiritual house in order. No one knows the day or the hour, and time is short, and I hope to get back to doing more reporting. I've been real busy taking care of my friend's estate, my friend who died a month ago, taking care of having to handle all of his affairs, and right now I'm having to go through his stuff that's in storage. I've got 2 storage units that I'm having to go through, and every time I go over there and go through anything, I get sick because of my allergies. So it's kind of slow going, and then I have to have a day or 2 to recover in between. So hopefully once I get all of that done, I can start reporting more on, get back to what I was reporting on, and also doing some more spiritual stuff. I feel like I'm being led into a different direction with my coaching and stuff, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be led with that, but I did a blog talk radio show this morning, and I talked about in detail and cried all the way through the show. I didn't mean to, but about what I've been going through for the last couple of months with my friend and his illness and the grieving process and all of that. And if you're interested in listening to that, I'll leave the link below in the description box. But it's hard. Grief takes a toll, and I've cried more tears than I thought I had in me. I thought I had already cried all my tears, but it's like an open door now these days. And so but in the Bible they say that tears are reason for rejoicing later on. So, and I am a Christian, and I do believe we're in the end times, and we need to lay down everything in this earthly realm to get ready to leave and to get ready to meet Jesus and get ready to go home. And if you haven't done that, you really need to while you still have a chance, because things are happening so fast, and we don't know if we're going to be in the middle of bombs being dropped on us, or tsunamis coming on us, or earthquakes swallowing us up. I mean, we just don't know what's coming. So better to be prepared, and I think the greatest preparation we can do is spiritually. So until next time, I love you guys. My name is Margo. My website is margoshealingcorner.com. If you like my work, and if you'd like to support my work and follow all of the things that I'm doing on, as I put things up on a daily basis, come join us on subscribestar.com/Margo. And for $5 a month, this is a safe place that I've created for us to come and gather in, to be in an uncensored environment in the future that's coming. So I love everyone. So until next time, God bless you. Go in peace, and I'll talk to you soon.